Hi everyone, this is Marco from bn-games.com. We're here doing something a little bit different. This is more of a personal keepsake than anything. I'm actually here doing kind of a mini review slash overview of the three new mecha for the 2012 Sentai series, which is Go-Busters. We're going to be doing DX CB01 Deluxe Go-Buster Ace. We're going to be doing, it's a little bit off frame here, GT02 Gorilla, and as you can see here, RH03 Rabbit. I actually just picked these up yesterday here in California, Los Angeles specifically, from a collectible show, Frankensons. If any of you reside in Los Angeles, you've probably been there before. There is a guy. His name is Vince. He actually runs a shop called Collector's Edge Toys. I'm going to go ahead and send the link for that website below. He's a great guy. He has these at cost. Really, when you consider how much shipping is, these things go for a very low amount. That's what he's selling them for. Great guy. He has stock. Really nice guy to talk to. And I'm definitely going to be sending him as much business as I can and going back to him any opportunity I can. Not only did I pick these up, I actually picked up a Mobirates. I forget the proper term for the second edition of it, but I'll be doing an overview for that in a couple minutes here. This is a little rushed, but it was kind of last minute, and I figured I might as well do this now because a lot of people have wanted to see what these guys look like separately and combined in video format, so I'm going to try and address that. And Ranger Board, my name is Fry133. If you don't like the video, kiss my ass. I'm sorry. You know, I can't please everyone. I'm going to try and do my best here. So let's go ahead and take these out and look at these guys individually. So of course we're starting off with the main guy. This is Deluxe Go-Buster Ace. He is Go-Buster Red's main mecha. So this year, the whole idea is they have these buddy roids, which is this little fella right here, and they kind of serve as headers from the Go-Sager series. This series is very much taking motifs that we've seen before, but it's also stylizing them a bit. So they're spies, first of all, which is still a little weird for me to wrap my head around, but you know, this is Japan. Let's be honest here, we've seen weirder things. So each vehicle, and that's really what they are, they're vehicles, this one being a car, Gorilla being a semi-truck, and Rabbit being a helicopter, have, of course, their vehicle modes and their animal modes, and an in-between mode. For example, here you'll see, for Go-Buster Ace, you have his car mode. It's autofocusing here. His semi mode, which is still the car mode, but with the I guess bear lion. I haven't actually seen episode 1. You guys will have to forgive me for this. Animal header, and then the actual. I guess it is a lion. That's what I'm going with, or a cheetah. I think it's a cheetah. I could be wrong. I'm sorry. But as you can see here, it shows the 3 forms that it has. It shows Go-Buster with his buddy roid. It says it's time for Buster, because from what I understand, their catchphrase is it's morphin' time. Although everyone seems to think it's a relation to Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, it's actually not, which I think is kind of funny that everyone's going apeshit about that. Here on the side you see the 3 transformations, including his main transformation, which might add, I actually like how it looks. Although the legs bothered me a little bit, they're just a little too wide for my liking. But I'll show that when I actually show the figure off. Here you can see the buddy roid, which converts into the header. I'm pretty sure they're going to have a lot of these. Just it seems like that's the kind of thing they're going to go with, just because they like their gimmicks. Yeah, this guy is definitely the tallest of the 3. So you can see here it has a shot of him and Gorilla and Rabbit, and the ultimate form, which I will be showing off at the end of the video. So let's go ahead and take this out and let's see what he looks like. Alright, so as you can see here, first of all, we have the vehicle mode. I really like this. I am usually not too fond of vehicle Sentai. Like, the last one I can think of that I really liked was probably Car Ranger, which is Power Rangers Turbo. Just because I liked how that looked, but this is really nice. So as you can see here, you have the headlights. you have really nice styling. It's basically mostly cast in black/gray with really nice accents. This thing is heavy. One thing that I like about, and I'm sure most of you will know that is much better about the Bandai of Japan versus Bandai of America stuff is, number one, it's full size. This is probably, if it ever comes out here, it's going to get shrunk, and it's going to be crappy plastic that breaks really easily. This thing, I feel like I could toss this. I'm not going to because I would cry, and I'm not okay with that. But I feel like if I toss this, it would actually survive. And like I said, I'm not going to go ahead and try that theory out, but yeah, this is a really nice vehicle mode. I'm just going to go ahead and show you here. The only thing that bothers me is this, the spoiler here looks a little retarded, but I can live with it. And if you flip them over underneath, you can see it's actually pretty well hidden that it's a giant robot that can kill you. It's very Transformers-like, which I don't have a problem with, I'll be honest. So then the second mode, which is the hybrid mode, and I'll go ahead and do this one on screen because it doesn't take very much. You take the Buddy Roid, which I'm going to go ahead and take apart here. This little guy, autofocus. As you can see here, he's got the header on the back, and he's got the little, this guy could turn into a motorcycle, which is pretty cool. I don't know his name. Like I said, I haven't seen the first episode, so you have to forgive me. You can fold him up, put them together into the header. Autofocus is having a really hard time with this, but I think you guys get the idea. He can open his mouth. Now this, at first when I saw this, I thought this was translucent, but actually it's painted in. Really nice paint. And let me show you here. You just go ahead and there we go. You gotta get him down here on the bottom, and then the top part comes down and it secures there, and that's his vehicle line mode. I mean, I really don't see why they needed to do this, but okay, yeah, I'll take anything I can get. And now let's go ahead and show you his lion mode. So let's go ahead and go now from this to his actual animal transformation. I'm going to try and do this as best as I can, so just bear with me here for a sec. The first thing you want to do is you want to break down the side here. This goes over like that, and then this other side breaks down. Some of these joints are really tight, which I like. Then this part goes down. So does this part here. Now for these are actually the legs. They pull out. They have a really nice magnetic kind of spring feel. Really, really sturdy. So you see we have it about halfway done there. Next part is these little guys. They also come out of the side, and they're very sturdy. Every single joint on this, super tight, magnetic on some of these also, which I really, really like. It's a nice feature that I hope they stick with. I know Go-Kaio didn't have it to as large a degree, but this one does. And then for the tail, you just pop that down. You extend this, like that, and you put it sideways. And there you have him almost complete. Go ahead and lift this up, and I probably should have left this in, but oh, that came out much easier this time around. And there you have his tiger, cheetah, lion, what have you form completed. As you can see, it's really nice. It actually has a lot of tribal, kind of classic Chinese symbols going on the side. Really nice. The tail still bothers me. I mean, the whole sword kind of bothers me. It's a nice little gimmick that they had where it's on a ball joint, so that you can easily put it on, and you never really need to put it out of the hand once you have it in. It's interesting for the transformation, but I don't like it very much just because it looks really square and kind of Lego-y. That's just a personal nitpick of mine. But this form is interesting. It looks a lot better in person than it does on this video. I had a big issue with it when I first saw it, but I've grown to like it. So now let's go ahead and do the main mode. Okay, now going to his main mecha, the actual Go-Buster Ace. So we're gonna go ahead and pull off the head here. And oh no, he came apart. I'll just set him to the side here. you basically want to take him back into car mode first. So pull that up, flip these back, they go in and then down, in and then down, goes up and up, and go ahead and bring this, go ahead and turn it there on that ball joint, which, like I said, it's nice, but I wish it didn't look so not sharp and blocky. I think that's what bothers me the most. So now the next thing is we have to bring down his legs. There's 2 buttons here, and it very explicitly tells you in the instructions that you have to make sure you do those or else you're going to break this thing. So those go, then you do this up, these form the feet, you have that there. Now this is the part that's not too tricky, but it can be. You separate that, this goes down, then you flip it down once, actually it's more like twice, flip the hand so that it's facing towards you, same thing with this one. Okay, there we go. A little tricky because of that ball joint if you don't do it right the first time. And then we put the header lion thingy into his chest, and this guy goes up, and these 2 pieces go together, and there he is completed. I really like this form. The only thing, like I said before, that bothers me is these legs. One kind of cool way to get around it is you can do this. You can, let's see if I can pull it off here. You can bend these back, and he looks a little slimmer. I think it would have looked nicer like this, but then you have this bulk back here, which I can live with personally. I like how this looks. Otherwise, it looks like he has really big pants, and that bothers me. But I really like this mode. Kind of cool that you can also do this if you turn these up. I don't know if these will have anything to play with in the future as far as the show goes. It'll be interesting to see. Now we're going to move on to the next guy, which is Gorilla. And continuing on with Gorilla here, we see his box. It's elongated, of course. So his main mode is a semi-truck kind of deal, trailer if you will. And he's also a gorilla, so his in-between mode is it with a gorilla head. Like I said, I don't understand, but okay. Here's the Buddy Roid. It doesn't show Go-Buster Blue, which I think is kind of weird, seeing how the first one did. As you can see here, it shows the transformation from the Buddy Roid to the gorilla head, and it shows all the different shots for him. I really like how this mecha mode looks too. Another shot of Go-BusterOh and the 3 that you see there. A front-on shot of Go-BusterOh. I actually like how he looks complete, and I'll get to him in a second. Yep, all these boxes basically carry the same motif, and they all have the logos. And I guess it shows him here, but like I said, it bothers me that it doesn't show him on the main cover. He does look pretty bitchin' there though, just badass pose. So let's go ahead and take this guy out. And as you can see here, we have him in this trailer mode. Kind of long. I like it. It's a 4-wheel trailer. I mean, if you had any more than that, it would hinder the way it transforms. It has 3 primary colors here, mostly blue, cast in some silver, with little pieces of black. I really like that logo. It's a really cool design how they did it, showing the rabbit, the cheetah, and the gorilla, but at the same time these 2 guys are like fists, where he's going to be the main concentration of the body for Go-BusterOh anyways. On top you can see this really nice H, which is a helipad, heliport, whatever you want to call it, where Rabbit can actually land on here and dock, and he can be driving as the rabbit is docked on here. Really nice. This is probably my favorite of the 3 just because of how it transforms. Vehicle mode, he ties with Go-Buster Ace, but his transformed animal mode is probably my favorite of the three. Really, really nice. So let's go ahead and show you his buddy Roid here. There it is. Really small. Let me see if I can focus in on this. Autofocus is having a really hard time. There we go. So yeah, he's a gorilla. I don't remember what he transforms into in the show. I believe it's also a motorcycle. Could be wrong. Sue me. And let's go ahead and transform him into his gorilla mode. There we go. Come on, autofocus. And there it goes. So his in-between mode relies on you pulling down this panel all the way down, and you fit his feet in, and there are side clips, which, if I do this right, it's a little bit tricky for his. There we go. It fits in like that, and like I said, it adds a little something, but I really thought this wasn't something they needed to do. But hey, who am I to complain? Now let's go ahead and move on to his animal mode. And now to transform him into his animal mode, this is a little bit tricky, but let's go ahead and start off. You gotta pull off the header first. Next thing you want to do is pull off, there are two tabs here, which tab in. They'll come off like that sometimes, it's okay. Then you pull the front part of the trailer off, and let me just go ahead and pop this back on, leaving this down so that this is exposed. You want to pop this up and down towards you so that you, and again, that happens more often than not, and you can honestly take these off and just do it like that, but you want to make sure that you form a T like that. So we're done with that piece for now. Moving on, you want to go ahead and separate these two while you can. Let's start with the bottom, the feet. These are probably the easiest to do anyways. You want to take them apart, they split down the middle, and you can actually see this, there's a toe here with one big toe and one big toe, so it's pretty obvious how those are going to go. But for now we can set these aside. The main transformation actually happens in these. You want to flip up the panel so that you have the Go-Buster logo facing up, and this one has this kind of marking here. They only have it on one side, which is a bit strange, but whatever. I'll take these apart. If you see here, there are fists which come out on each of these. So let's go ahead and do these. Now that you have these, you match up each one with its appropriate back part, and I'm getting myself a little confused here. There's a hole and a slot, and these just connect in and down, so that you have one fist which is facing out with the toe which is facing in, and that creates one half of it. And I'll just set that here, and the same deal with this side, which is that slot goes in first, and then a tab, and you have these combined, and that forms the main body. You don't want to put them together quite yet, because first you want to put in the header. There's a little slot here pointed by the arrow. The other one has a silver arrow. Autofocus is having a bit of an issue. It'll catch her, whatever. You basically put this guy in here so that that one side catches, and on the other side, same deal. It has a white silverish arrow there, and that catches on that side like so. And then you put the back part connects, and you have that, and this last piece comes into play here. Easiest way to do this, I've noticed, is normally if you have the header like this, the feet are up, which makes it a little tricky. It's a little bit easier if you lower it and then insert it. And what you do is it goes into these two little slots here. It doesn't quite go all the way though. It's a little tricky to see it in the instructions, but it'll go up to the last slot, and then the way it locks down is you actually push the trailer back until it clicks, which I'm having a bit of an issue doing here. It took me a sec, but once you get the back of the trailer in, it locks. It doesn't actually clip in on the side, it just kind of stays a little loose there. And then the last thing you do is you make sure this is up, of course, and you pull up his helmet, and you have the gorilla mode. This is probably my favorite of the 3 animal modes, because it actually looks like what it's supposed to be. I guess rabbit comes pretty close, but cheetah, it just doesn't do it for me. This does. I really like how this looks. I've named him DJ Gorilla because he has speakers. Just lots and lots of speakers. Now let's go ahead and move on to rabbit form. And here we have the box for rabbit. Once again, following the same motif. No Go Buster Yellow on the front, but she is on the top. And once again, it shows you basically the same shots that you've had. Now, one thing to note that I actually just realized, and I mean this is pretty common knowledge now that they do this, this one and Gorilla have the full instructions on how to make Go-BusterOh, where Go-Buster Ace does not. So you really do need to get these as a set if you want to know how to put them together. Yep, so let's go ahead and move on to the vehicle mode, and I already have her ready here. As you can see, she's a helicopter rabbit and has the same ability to put the rabbit header here, which I'm not a huge fan of, but hey, I'll live with it. Helicopter, big helicopter wings. The main helmet for Go-BusterOh is actually here concealed. Not very well though, but it works well, I guess, if you look at it like this, and it does kind of look like helicopter lights. Some of the stylings here, the Go-Busters logo there, has a couple of wheels which spin pretty well, although being a helicopter you really wouldn't want it to spin, I guess, but it works well enough. Showing off how to put on the actual header, here we have the Buddyroid form, which kind of looks like a rabbit, I guess. I don't know, this isn't doing it for me personally, but if you flip this back like so, turn it around, that looks much more like a rabbit head, although a very fierce, angry rabbit head. I wouldn't want to pet this rabbit. It looks like he wants to kill me. And go ahead and slide this in here like so. And you have, actually, out of the 3 modes that have this, I think this one works the best just because it contours well here, and it kind of looks like it would fit in, although, like I said, I still don't really see the purpose of having this mode. So let's go ahead and turn it back into the actual rabbit mode. So you have to pull this off, and then you pull these down to form the 2 legs. Let's set that aside now. The helmet goes off, and these 2, actually this goes down first. So you form that, and this goes back. This goes back to form gigantic bunny ears. These 2 separate to form the legs. They're really stiff. I like that, although I feel like I'm going to break it every single time. This goes back on, and I really could have left it on, but I figured I might as well take it off because it kind of sort of fell off. There you have the rabbit form, which, like I said, works better than Go-Buster Ace, but I still like Gorilla the most as far as animal mode. Those are some gigantic rabbit ears that it's supposed to have, unless these are really it, but I'm going to say that these are. Yeah, mostly molded in yellow. You can see a lot of nice little details. I still think it's going to try and eat me. I would like to see some black there. And now let's move on to the one that probably everyone wants to see, which is the actual full transformation of Go-Buster. So, to start off, you want to take down his helmet, and take down his goggles to the side, and pull out the header. and set that to the side. We'll need that here in a couple minutes. Now what happens with the arms is they turn up once, and one click up like that, and then you go ahead and you move them back like that, actually, because it probably just once like that, so that you have them pointing back exactly like this with the tires pointing up. So now you want to set him aside, lift him up, make sure he's standing right, and you want to move on to Gorilla, who's the next one we're going to do. What you want to do with him is you want to completely take him apart. So take off the back, take off the trailer part from the front, and you want to go ahead and split the back part first. Set those two there. Go ahead and move the camera here so you guys have a better view of what's actually going on down here. Split these two. Now, if you'll notice here, this one has a goldish bronze arrow, and this one has a white one, and the back parts do as well. What will happen is you grab the white one, in this case, from each one, and you can see this gold piece here and this here. These arrows actually meet. I'm doing it, pretty sure I'm doing it wrong here. Give me one. Oh, shit. What did I do? Oh, I'm stupid. So as you can see, you have the white arrow here and the white arrow here, and there's a tab there, a slot here, a hole there, and a peg here, and these just peg in like that. There's 1, 2, which forms this. Then you go ahead and take these wheels and you fold them in, and that forms one of the legs after, of course, you pull this back. So you want to have the Go-Busters logo here rather than the three animals. And you want to have the two wheels here, that like that, and that's 1 foot. Same thing for the other one. Wheels back, meet up the two ends, peg 1. That second one can get a little tricky too. Peg 2. The wheels are up, this is up, and flip this back, and that's leg number 2. Now you go over to Go-Buster Ace, you lower it. As you can see, the way you know which foot it goes on is the silver is going to be on the outside of the foot that it goes on. So in this case, it's going to go on the left one. This is going to clip here. This part is going to clip here. And there's a clip there and a slot right here. So basically it goes like that. You have a nice little click. Same thing on the other side. Just going off camera here. And that's it for that. As you can see, he gains a very decent amount. He's much taller now. Same thing, let's set him back to the side. And next thing we're going to work on now is this part here. What you want to do with this is you want to take down the trailer part in the front. Just fix that. As so. And as you can see, once you have it, it wants you to do this. And we can go ahead and set this aside now. Now we go over to the rabbit, who is in vehicle mode right now. And the first thing you want to do is take off the helmet, which is here on top. Set that aside, we'll need that last. You want to go ahead and take off this bottom part. Set that aside as well, we'll need that in a second. And the instructions tell you to do this a little bit differently, but it's kind of redundant the way they tell you to do it, so it's actually easier if you just break this apart in half and leave it the way it already is. The only parts you do have to remove are these side rockets, which we'll need in a second. So once again, set them aside. And this bends up, folds up, I'm sorry. Like that. So rather than it telling you to do some crazy thing, that's how I do it. You could do it any other way you want, but that's the easy way, I think. Going back to him, You take the corresponding arm, and there are one hole here, one hole here. These just pop in like that. Same thing for the other side. Just pops in like that. Now we have him about halfway through, I want to say. Next thing, actually, what we want to do is go to the back. And the part from the rabbit, which we had before, what we're going to do now is, looking at it straight on like this, we're going to do 45-degree bend there, 45-degree bend there. So you have this. Same thing, clip here, clip there. These go together like so. And if you don't do that bend, it will not go in and it will not click in. So it's purposely done that way. Going on to the headers. On the right hand, which is a little tricky to see here. Let me see if I can get this a little bit better. There we go. You do the cheetah header on this side. Like that. Goes there. And on his right arm, you do the bunny one. A rabbit. Exactly like that. So now facing you, we only have a couple things left to do. Going back to this part here, and let me get this guy out of the way one last time. Typically when you went into his half mode, you put in the gorilla head like this. This time around you're going to have to put it in backwards. And to do that, it's a little tricky. You just got to bend the feet in so it goes in like that. And then you do it like so. And it will stay on. Make sure that this is not open. You don't want it open. You want it closed. And now you come here. And this will fit into here. It's the same size as the cheetah one on that end. And once it grabs, you're good there. Push this part all the way to the back until it touches. Now, second to last part is the weapon. You add the two rockets that came off of Rabbit, and these go on here. Actually, I had that backwards. The side with the screws is the one that doesn't get the one with the logo, so it goes like that. And the side with the logo goes on the one without the screws. And there you have the sword complete. Goes into his hand, which it does not go as easy as it does on Go-Buster Ace by itself. It's a little tricky to get on here. There we go, now he has it on. And the last part we gotta do is the helmet. So like I said in the beginning part, you do want to make sure that his helmet is down. Let me go ahead. So as you can see there, it's down. You grab the helmet which came in, bend these like this, and we're done. He is definitely tall. He's tall. Actually, for comparison, there's Dragonzord. This guy's taller. Just a little bit taller. Or a lot of taller. This guy's definitely heftier, where he is a lot, he's more hollow plastic than anything. This particular one is actually broken here. He's pretty heavy, actually. But not heavy to the point where it's gonna fall apart or fall under its own weight. It's actually pretty sturdy. And I know a lot of people were complaining and saying they don't like how it looks. I do. The only thing I don't like is the helmet. Although looking at it now, it's an interesting design, seeing how the car is on top, and then the gorilla part's on bottom, and then the helicopter blades are actually from the rabbit. So I think that's pretty cool. I still think it looks a lot cooler if you take it off. I think it looks cooler like that. Although then again, he has a smaller head. I don't know. It's just a personal little nitpick. Overall, I really like the mode. Everything goes somewhere. There's no leftover bits that you have, which I think is really nice. Some of the later ones end up having a lot of extra pieces that you have to store separately. No, this is completely self-existent. Everything goes somewhere on it in either mode. The headers go on the vehicle modes in one way or another, as long as you know where to put them, and everything comes together really, really nicely. So to answer the question, are these guys worth buying? I would say absolutely. The price that you're getting them for is pretty typical of what the deluxe main mecha of the year ends up going for, although it's a little strange that they released the first three the way they did, being that they are separate releases. Although it doesn't really bother me as much. I would have liked to see a complete package. I don't know if that exists. I do know that you can buy Rabbit and Gorilla bundled together, but Go-BusterOh, I've only seen Go alone. I ended up picking these guys up for about $130, and that was local pickup from Vince at collectorsedgetoys.com. I know that these go for quite a bit more with shipping when you factor everything in. At least in the 180 and up range I've seen from what I've priced. So if you live in California, if you live in Los Angeles or City of Industry, Azusa area, definitely go visit him. He's a great guy. I'm going to post up all the links to everything below, including in the video you should be seeing popping up any second now. Hey, there it is. What do you know? That's magic. But definitely pick these guys up. He has a bunch of stuff. If you're not into Sentai, he has a lot of other great toys. He has Figure RTS Kamen Rider. I actually picked up an Astro Driver and a Meteor Driver from him when I went as well. He's got a lot of great stuff. Really nice guy. Definitely visit his website, help him out, and pick these guys up from wherever you can. Even if you can't pick them up from him, you know, these things are great. And I'm sure that the American versions, if we get them, will not be as good. I'm going to be doing a review for the Mobiritz Special Edition release next, so be sure to tune in, be sure to subscribe, and if you have any questions, comments, send us an email at bobby@basicallynothing.com or marco@bn-games.com.